things, okay? But stranger things have happened. I want you back, Jacqueline. I've made that very clear. So come back to New Jersey. Anyone else want Jacqueline back? I would love that. I think Jacqueline is a wonderful person. Teresa has also said, listen, it's not my fault Teresa did an interview. It is like laying all this out. Teresa did an interview and she says that Josefina Gorgasita, you know Josefina Gorgasita, he is married to a woman named Messi G. But Teresa, this is where it's a little cringe for me. Teresa said in the interview that Josefina Gorgasita has chosen work over his family and that her father, this is where it gets, I side with the Gorgas on this one, where, Joe was so outraged with, where was she? Was it Kathy? Or I don't know. Teresa did so many interviews with this past season, but, where she started talking about the parents looking down and being disgusted with Joe. But she said in this interview that the parents would always want to hang out, and Joe always chose work over the parents. I don't know. First of all, that's your brother. Second of all, I mean, I know that ship has sailed, but it's a little wrong to be saying that, right? And the parents have passed, you know, this man is grieving, I mean, he's grieving. It's a constant thing when you lose a parent. You never get over it. So I don't know. To say that, when the parents aren't here, it's a little cringe. It was a little cringe moment. For me, I didn't like it. To say that, the parents were always upset that Joe was working or that Joe always chose work. However you phrase it, I don't even want to get technical on this. It's weird to me. It's weird to me. I don't like it. I don't like speaking about someone that's passed when it's parents. It's just a little cringe, okay? And the only other thing I want to say about Teresa before we move on to non-Jersey stuff is that she brought up again that she watched the show and she can't believe, and we've had this conversation now for over a year, that Teresa watched the show. Like she's like the fucking queen of England, okay? Like, she can't believe the things that Melissa and Joe have said about her throughout the years and blah, blah, blah. We all know the story because we've all been talking about this for years, but it came up again in this interview that she did. And it's like, girl, enough already. You're not special. I don't know what fucking show you think you were on. Melissa and Joe said horrible things about you because Margaret did, because this one did. That is the actual job description. So I don't know why it's so shocking that her brother and Melissa would say bad things about her. And now she watched the show and she heard all the things they said. I mean, you were talking shit about them too. It's the show. Also, you don't just show up. I mean, like when I have all these ex-housewives on and people say, why is she still talking about it? Why? She's not still talking about it. She was gracious enough to come on our damn show. And by the way, a lot of these ex-housewives, say they don't want to talk about housewives, and then they really do. But a lot of these ex-housewives really don't. It's more like, well, I know you, and I've asked you to come on the show. Like, could you do me a solid? So a lot of times they don't want to talk about this. They're not talking about this, and they're talking about it because they were gracious enough to come on my show. And by the way, what do you want me to talk? Would you like me to have an ex-housewife on and talk about everything in their new business and everything going on in life other than housewives? Because I would be okay with that. They would be okay with that. Y'all wouldn't be okay with that. But my point is, I mean, the more I heard her say this, like the light went off of just like, Teresa has learned nothing. Okay. No offense. She's learned nothing. Like, you're not special. Everyone's going to talk about you. Everyone's going to say bad things. That's the job description. Why are you that shocked? I don't know. I'm in a mood, I guess, maybe because it's a holiday, but like it shouldn't be some big revelation that people have said bad things about you. That's the actual show. So Emily Simpson has done an interview and she has said that, Emily was friends with Alexis before she came back to Housewives. Alexis has even said, I'm shocked at Emily. I mean, they were friends, but Emily's done an interview where she said, that Shannon would always, off air, what she revealed, the big reveal of what Shannon told her when she wasn't on the show was that she would always complain about paying for everything for John, paying for everything for John. We heard about this before. She would say the same thing to Heather Dubrow. She would say the same thing to Gina, and she was worried about the future because the show isn't stable. So, okay, Emily knows it. Shannon knows it. This is good. This is good. I don't know why you don't save the money. Like, if you know the show isn't going to last forever and there's really no other source of income there, you should save it, right? I mean, yeah. But I think it's funny that she's also saying, with Alexis, then there's this whole thing with the 75,000, and that's a little incongruous of like you paid for everything, but now you're getting a loan from John. Like, which is it? That's not exactly paying for everything. $75,000 a lot of money, but uh, what am I trying to say? I don't hate Rachel Leviss. I was a proponent of hers. Everyone hated me. I don't hate Sandoval. Everyone hated me. So here we are. I'm about to take another unpopular opinion because, everyone hates me anyway. So, and by the way, the person that left the comment on YouTube, which I posted on my Instagram, that said that I've really helped them because I have taught them that true freedom is not to give a fuck what anyone thinks about you, and that they've really employed it in their lives. And yeah, you got a free life coaching session, but thank you. It's comments like that that I really do enjoy it. So I'm glad that I can help. And she said that she's successful in business now. It's just she's made changes in her life and really adopted. I don't care what people think, which you can't just turn a dial. You have to just get there on your own. It's like when someone is in need of rehab. I'm not stepping in. It's useless. Someone has to get there themselves. Anyway, my point that I'm trying to make, I've already lost my fucking point. Oh, is that I'm going to take another unpopular opinion in that look. I I think Shannon's having a great season. It's clear now that this is the season of Shannon and we're rebuilding Shannon, and Shannon is looking great and she's about to leave. It's this month, it's September, that her and my good friend Lou, hi Lou. Lou is just on Fire Island with all my boys. Neither Lou and I are in the Hamptons. Who wants to leave the Hamptons at the end of the summer? Well, guess what? Reality has set in here. It's time to work, work, work. Or as my good friend, you guys know my good friend Brittany. My good friend Brittany says, work a bitch. You better work a bitch. Anyway, my point is we built all these people up. Shannon's built up. We also built up Ariana. And now everyone is coming for Ariana. She still has a lot of fans, but it's not built up Shannon too much because then we're going to have the takedown of Shannon Bedore, which I don't think she deserves. I think she looks great. Girl, this is the best. John Janssen coming into your life and leaving is the best thing that ever happened to you, Shannon. It is the best because now you just see what it was. Look, if your good friend Vicky Gumelson could go through, should have stayed with Don, Vicky. You should have stayed with Don. But if your good friend Vicky Gumelson could go through, I mean, Steve and wanting the fame, and then Brooks, and you faked cancer, Vicky, and that's not nice. It's not nice because I mean, ugh, not nice. But the point is, Shannon, you are going to find someone. I mean, if Vicky could find someone, a good guy who sits by her bedside when she almost dies, that's what you need. That's what you need, Shannon.